What is a Gen 1er, or better yet, who is a Gen 1er? If we hop over to the Urban Dictionary, we get a pretty good definition of who falls into this category. A Gen 1er is someone who favors only the original generation of Pokemon. These people are oblivious or even annoyed of the newer Pokemon generations. Actually, I like this definition a lot more. An idiot who hates any Pokemon game made after Yellow without giving any actual reason. Gen 1ers voice their opinion in the jerkiest way possible while refusing to accept the fact that normal people have their own opinions. Now, given the title of this video, why would I even bring this up? Is it to attack a group of people? Is it to actually side with them because I think that what they're saying is true and only the original 151 Pokemon are the only good designs? Well, to be honest with everyone, it's just to make a point about this group's way of thinking and how it applies to Palworld. You see, now that we've had some time to play Palworld and really get to understand the game mechanics and become familiar with the design of the Pals, the more and more distaste I have with Game Freak and the Pokemon series as a whole. And it's not because I think the games are awful or anything. I think it's just the more I play Palworld, the more I wish that the Pokemon series took the same cues and the time to make the gameplay and graphics better for their latest entries into the franchise. Then when I hop online, I see thousands of people dying on that hill that Pokemon is better and that Palworld is just a ripoff of our beloved series. It has made me sit here in my room and try to understand my feelings towards both games and try to understand both sides of the argument at hand. Instead of simply just going on to Twitter or TikTok and voice my opinion of it all, I want to take a step back and hop back into the latest games we received from Game Freak and really try to get a grip on what I like more about the Pokemon series and what I like more about Palworld. We will come back to the Gen 1er conversation later in the video, so if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out and ensures I can make more content like this in the future. Alright, let's just hop right into the video. I decided to dust off my copy of Pokemon Violet and crack open a cold one. You know, a cactus cooler. Kids, don't do beer. Since I haven't played the new Indigo Disc DLC, I thought it was a good jumping in point to start my comparison of the two games. After being greeted by the director of Blueberry Academy, we were whisked away to, you would never guess it, the Blueberry Academy. And I started battling some girl that I forgot the name of, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't enjoy the battling as much as I used to. I led the battle with my spirit animal Probopass. If you watch my band's latest music video, you will understand why I say that. And I was faced against the scariest duo of all time, Plusle and Minun. Double battles are the best way to play Pokemon, as you can employ a multitude of tactics that are not viable in normal one-on-one battles, which was shown off in the showdown. After winning the battle and exploring the terrarium a little bit to get my footing, I honestly do not remember the performance of this game being this bad. At some points I was reaching probably 10 frames a second from just normal movement and it buffering out a little bit when I jumped into a battle with one of the surrounding returning Gen 1 Pokemon. I caught a couple and thought to myself, why do the textures look so rough? And why is this guy glitching through the wall again? So I did a little bit more exploring, but at this point I put my controller down and just started to reflect on the little bit I played. Has it always been like this? I remember really enjoying the game when it first came out and I had a great time with it. Why am I noticing every little flaw now? So I ejected the game and put in Pokemon Legends Arceus. At this point, I'm kind of just looking for a silver lining. I have been a Pokemon fan my entire life and I'm not sure why I can't get into the latest entry right now, so maybe Arceus will help me out. I booted it up and tried to become acquainted with the gameplay once more because it is drastically different from Pokemon Violet. I immediately felt relief and comfortability when playing Pokemon Arceus, and I'm not exactly sure why. I guess the game felt very familiar after not playing Pokemon for a second and coming off of Palworld. Looking around the game world, I have come to appreciate that Game Freak tried something new with the catching mechanics and how the Pokemon battles are actually kind of difficult to a certain degree. The art style also hides the fact that Nintendo Switch is like a little over 7 years old, and compared to Scarlet and Violet, the graphics are okay. All in all, after revisiting these games, I've been able to formulate my thoughts on this. It is sad to say that I've came to the conclusion, but I'm a Gen 1er. Not because of the fact that I think the original 151 Pokemon are the peak of Pokemon designs, because they're not. But rather because, like these people, they have been afraid of change and refuse to see that there's better out there past the first generation. And in my case, there is better beyond the Pokemon series. As of right now, Pokemon is just in a cash cow state, where Game Freak rushes out new games simply because they are contracted out to do so, and that the new designs will pretty much print out money for Nintendo through plushies, trading cards, movies, anime series, I mean pretty much everything. When a new game is released and everyone's rushing out to buy it even though it's already in a poor state at launch, I mean, coming back to Scarlet and Violet, I was really hopeful that they might have worked out the kinks and optimized the game to make it run smoother on the current Switch hardware, but to my surprise, I feel like it ran worse. At this point, for future releases, I'm just hoping that Game Freak gives us the best of both worlds, where they take aspects from Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet to make the best possible Pokemon game that there could be. Just imagine having a new region to explore at 4K, 60 frames per second with beautifully animated models and attack animations. Or a new remake of one of the older games, but instead of a chibi aesthetic, we instead got a 2D, 3D style game like Octopath Traveler that remained faithful to the originals but was gorgeous to look at. In a way, I have to thank Pocket Pair for making Palworld, because even though the game is far from perfect, it has shown me that there is better out there for monster catching games, and that Pokemon is not as good as I tried to convince myself it was. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you happen to be a fan of heavy metal, check out my band CZYK. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.